You guys have been asking me for years if I've heard from Wendy and what I'm doing to help Wendy. And I'm going to be honest, I hadn't heard from Wendy in years until last week. My phone rang and it was Wendy.
What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn and I'm back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about the new Peacock documentary that they just announced called Clap If You Care, and it's based on the Wendy Williams Show. If you watch this show, you know Wendy would literally ask you to clap if you care about what she's talking about. If not, she would move on. So I want to get into this tea. There's controversy over the documentary because it's being executive produced by Suzanne Baz, apparently and allegedly without Wendy Williams' participation or approval. Lord LaRosa from the Breakfast Club spilled some tea about it, so we're going to get into it in this video. But first, if you're watching, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and click the thumbs up button just on good faith that it's going to be a good video. All right, you guys. So just 2 days ago on August 24th, Peacock announced a 3-part documentary titled Clap If You Care, The Wendy Williams Show, and it's scheduled to air in 2027. Now, I believe this will be about the 3rd documentary on Wendy Williams since her show ended. This project is going to focus on Wendy's rise from radio to daytime television and examine the cultural impact of her talk show, because it did shift the culture of daytime TV in a way that we haven't seen since then. It's also going to discuss the complicated realities surrounding Wendy Williams' fame and her departure from her own show. And it's going to feature more than 20 former employees. And this is the side we haven't seen before, the employee side of things. So many people relied on Wendy Williams for their income. And so we're going to see their side of things, including Suzanne Baz. It's going to use Suzanne's 13 seasons of experience on the show as an important firsthand perspective. And I feel like the entire show, like the narration of the show, is going to be Suzanne Bass. And so the interesting thing about that is that Suzanne Bass no longer talks to Wendy Williams. Those two allegedly are no longer in communication. So the Sun reported, before it was announced that it would be on Peacock, the Sun reported 2 major streamers raced to release competing Wendy Williams documentaries as ailing ex-host health takes a nosedive, referring to Wendy Williams' health. I don't think it's taken a nosedive, but in any case, they say multiple sources told The Sun that 2 separate documentary projects are in the works about Wendy after it was revealed that she allegedly has alcohol-related brain damage. One source said that Peacock has signed with Wendy's former executive producer Suzanne Bass to head up the project. And they say Suzanne pitched a Wendy documentary to Peacock and they bought it, but she promised to bring Wendy on board. The problem is Wendy stopped talking to Suzanne, and even if she were back in the picture, she's too unwell to participate. Now, the last time I talked about Suzanne on my channel, Suzanne said she was talking to Wendy in February 2025. And we're going to do a flashback. And now when we watch this video of Suzanne talking about Wendy, keep in mind that she might have just gotten back in touch with Wendy because she was pitching the project to Peacock. And basically, she wanted to use Wendy.
Hi, guys. I'm out walking my dog. There's my doggy. There's my, listen, you guys have been asking me for years if I've heard from Wendy and what I'm doing to help Wendy. And I'm going to be honest, I hadn't heard from Wendy in years until last week. My phone rang and it was Wendy. I cried. She cried. Brendan cried. Jack was home, my oldest. He didn't cry, but he said hi to her. She sounds fantastic. She sounds the best she has sounded in years. And I've been learning every day since then more and more about her story, what she's been through, what she's going through, this horrible guardianship she's in. It is horrible and it's terrifying. And so, hashtag free Wendy all the way, all day. And she really just needs our love and support. Just send prayers to her. Thanks.
All right, you guys. So again, that was February 2025. And it seems that shortly after that, Wendy stopped talking to Suzanne. I don't think Wendy is out of her mind. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wendy realized that Suzanne was trying to utilize her for this documentary and stopped talking to her. I would not be surprised. In any case, Lauren LaRosa reported. She said, a source close to Wendy Williams tells me exclusively that Wendy was blindsided by this new documentary, Clap If You Care. The doc, coming in 2027, was officially announced yesterday. It will air on Peacock, and Wendy's former friend and former Wendy Williams Show executive producer, Suzanne Bass, will spearhead the project. My source close to Wendy made it clear Wendy Williams did not okay this doc and clarified that Wendy does not talk to Suzanne at all. I'm told Wendy was never involved in the doc. My source alleges Suzanne moved very sketchy. When asked if Wendy would financially benefit from the doc at all, my source could not provide a clear yes and called the doc disgusting. So, this is so sad to report, but it seems like it may be another documentary to where Wendy Williams is shown in a bad light. I don't want to see painted in a bad light because the last documentary we saw, it was real. Like Wendy really was in a bad place. They weren't painting her in a bad light. She was in a bad place. I feel like Wendy has improved since then, but at the same time, the way the show ended and Wendy leaving the way she did, it did leave a lot of people out of a job. I left a lot of people out of a job, and the people that transitioned to the Sherry Show still eventually ended up out of a job. So with this new documentary, Clap If You Care, coming from the standpoint of the employees, I would not be surprised if it is disgusting. Like Lauren LaRosa's source said, I wouldn't be surprised if it is disgusting in the way it shows Wendy Williams. Y'all leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I also wanted to talk about some good news. Shout out to Coco Jones. This is from the Jasmine brand. Coco Jones is set to star in Hillary as Peacock develops a new Bel-Air spinoff around her character. You guys, I love the Fresh Prince reimagining on Peacock. If you've seen it, put a 1 in the chat. I love the drama of it all. It's so good. And I love that they're doing a spinoff. The Jasmine brand reports Coco Jones may be taking Hillary Banks from Bel-Air to New York City in a new Peacock spinoff currently in development. According to Deadline, the streamer is working on Hillary, a scripted offshoot centered on Jones's fan favorite character from Bel-Air. Tracy Oliver, known for Girls Trip and Harlem, is writing the project, while Will Smith's Westbrook Studio and Universal Television are producing. The proposed series would follow Hillary after she accepts an unexpected job offer from celebrity chef Yvonne Duran and makes an impulsive move to New York. Determined to build a name beyond her wealthy Bel-Air family, Hillary quickly learns that success, relationships, and life in the city may come with unexpected consequences. The storyline would take the character in a different direction from the Bel-Air finale, which ended with Hillary returning to Los Angeles from Costa Rica to open her own cafe. However, the New York move mirrors the ending of the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where Hillary also relocated to New York City. So I'm excited. I feel like this is going to be good. Y'all leave a comment and let me know, will you be watching the Hillary spinoff from the Fresh Prince? And are you going to be watching the new Wendy Williams documentary, Clap If You Care? Let me know what your thoughts on Suzanne Bass kind of turning on Wendy, reaching out to Wendy allegedly to use her for this documentary. And then when Wendy didn't want to participate, still going forward with the documentary. I don't think that's a friend. It was mentioned that Suzanne Bass was a friend of Wendy's, but I don't think that's a friend. Leave a comment, share your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.